This was me 2 years ago. Fat, chopped, unmotivated, a little autistic, and low-key depressed. And this is me now. Nonchalant, tall, handsome, reads feminist literature, drinks matcha, and supports women's rights. Okay, all jokes aside, I think looks really do play a big factor in your quality of life, and they might even reflect your lifestyle and even your personality as well. Okay, you know when I was fat, you know when I was fat and chopped, okay, my lifestyle was literally how you would imagine someone who was fat and chopped would have. Okay, I had the lifestyle of a Discord mod. I was sitting in my room all day. I was on Discord call. I was on Discord calls with my little online friends, hunched over, playing some Roblox, some Roblox video game. Okay, and when I changed my lifestyle, okay, my physical attributes changed as well, because obviously if you change your lifestyle, your habits, it's gonna reflect on you. Okay, and it wasn't my physical attributes that it wasn't only my physical attributes that changed, but it was my kind of personality as well. Okay, because back then I was I was legit, I was so shy and so timid and so antisocial, okay, when I was in my chop phase. And I didn't even have the guts to say hi to a stranger, or press record on my MacBook and just record a video like this. Okay, I didn't have the confidence to do that. Okay, and my friends now, they say that I'm outgoing, and I'm extroverted and stuff like that. Okay, but if they would have met me 2 years ago, okay, they would not say those things. Okay, I was none of those things. I had no social skills whatsoever, and I had almost I almost had no friends. Okay, all I had were these two friends from elementary, okay, that I still keep in touch with now. Okay, we're not gonna talk about it. Okay, and maybe I didn't have too many friends due to the fact I was homeschooled, but I did have my glow up phase when I was homeschooled. Okay, and my looks did improve while I was homeschooled, so I became more social and I made more friends after that. Okay, so being homeschooled wasn't really an excuse for me to not have friends. Okay, the reason I had no friends was because I was insecure, I wasn't confident. Okay, isn't insecure and confident is basically the same thing. And I had issues with my self-image. Okay, so what solved that issue with my self-image was to basically just fix my insecurities. Okay, I fixed the fact that I was fat. Obviously, I fixed the fact that I didn't have the lifestyle of the type of person I wanted to be, and I fixed the fact that I had no social skills by learning social skills through books and stuff. Okay, and actually kind of applying those things. You know what I mean? But I think the main factor really was just because my looks improved. Okay, the physical part, that made the ball start rolling. Okay, that's it started the momentum. Okay, the sole fact that my looks improved, it literally changed the trajectory of my life. Okay, because back then when I was chopped, when I was fat, okay, I was almost invisible to people. Okay, no one looked at me, and I didn't really have the confidence to go approach anyone either. Okay, because I was chopped and I thought everyone would just run. Okay, And back then no one would even say hi. Even now no one really says hi anymore, because like everyone's low-key like insecure and like antisocial. But whatever. Okay, besides the point. I was invisible. Okay, I was invisible when I was chopped. And when I kind of improved my looks, okay, when I improved myself, people started noticing me, and people started kind of respecting me just because my looks improved. Okay, my personality back then compared to now, there's basically no difference. Okay, I'm still like low-key kind of autistic, and I still have like maybe the same humor. Okay, the same essence. Okay, personality wise. Okay, but just because my looks improved, everyone started they started liking it. Okay, just because of my looks. Okay, because back then, if I would be acting weird, if I was acting goofy like that, people, they would probably think that I'm some like abnormal child or something. Okay, but now they still probably do think I'm some abnormal child, but it's more tolerable because I have a decent face card. Okay, I have decent looks. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Okay, it's like looks really do matter that much. You know what I mean? Like, you could get away with a lot of things if you just have good looks. Okay, you could get away with being a weirdo, you could get away with being autistic, you could get away with being like a sexual predator just because you have decent looks. You know what I mean? So, maybe if you want to change your life, okay, just like I did, if you're chopped just like I did, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to be invisible anymore and you want people to actually, start noticing you, you want to, actually have friends this time, and you want attention from women and whatever, like, I'd be getting my looks from women from time to time. I'm pretty popular with the ladies, you can say that. Okay, all jokes aside, maybe the first thing you should work on is your looks. Okay, yeah, I really think that the first thing you should work on in self-improvement is your looks. Maybe your mindset a little bit. Okay, but work on your looks first. Okay, like it is so important, bro, because if you have good looks, the mindset will follow, the confidence will follow, the personality will follow, the social connections will follow. And because you get positive feedback, it creates this feedback loop where you have good looks, you get social validation from it. Because you get social validation from it, you want to keep improving your look. So you keep improving yourself, and you get more social validation, and then you improve yourself in other aspects, and then you get more like feedback, positive feedback, and it just loops. Okay, positive feedback loop. Okay, just because you started on your looks. Okay, so the point is, looks maxing. Okay, goodbye.
Let's get some pussy tonight.